Brace yourself, my friends, and watch our entitled Rachel Johnson's really astonishing defence of her brother.
I love this line in Alison Pearson's piece. The spectrum emails who had all struggled to pick out their own child in a school photo, which sort of, to me, summed up the whole insanity of it. The policies, our lives, our daily lives, our parents, our grandparents, our children's lives being micromanaged by very, very small amount of men in a macho and heroic environment, men who'd probably never put together Christmas or, got the children's timetable in their head or understood what it was like to look after small children and aged parents. And it enraged me then, and it enrages me now. And the fact that the COVID inquiry isn't even asking the basic question, which is, did lockdown work? Was it the right policy to use? If not, what are we going to do next time? And instead, all it's doing, instead of looking at lessons to the future, it's trying to apportion blame to the past. Why are we spending £100 million on buck passing, on arse covering, on apportioning blame for the past, instead of looking at the pandemic response and saying, how can we do it better? How can we prevent lockdown next time round? They were following the science, but they weren't. So, I can sort of live with all of that if the inquiry, which is going to cost up to £100 million, comes up with a proper toolkit for a pandemic response in the future that doesn't have such huge collateral harms associated with it. Collateral, hidden and open harms that lockdown did.
All I say is, Rachel, you and Alison Pierce deserve each other. What a disgusting way to treat people who were basically trying to do their best to get your let the bodies pile high brother and our Dr. Death Chancellor to stop these ridiculous ideas like eat out to help out. You sit there insulting these people who were giving your alcoholic brother and his government the advice, let's be honest, they didn't want to hear, wasn't it? Calling them spectrumy men. Hilarious. Who were trying to save as many lives as possible while your three sheets to the wind brother was having parties and wine time Fridays and cared more about the economy. Incredibly insulting way to talk about these people. But I'll tell you what enraged me, and that still enrages me now, Rachel, is the fact that you and your dumb cough of a brother still get airtime. Let's be honest. If your village idiot of a brother wasn't born into privilege, he'd be dancing in the village square for his food, wouldn't he? She's only on that platform because of one reason only. Her family name, isn't it? Also, when she talks about asking the basic questions nonsense, that's code for me. Will you stop highlighting the fact that my brother is nothing like the lovable rogue people like myself and Spaffer fans like to portray him to be? His sociopathic, narcissistic nasty side has been exposed front and centre, isn't it? Also, imagine this. Imagine if Jeremy Corbyn had won the 2019 election and had done all the things our Spaffer did. Do you actually think our Rachel Johnson would have been saying all this nonsense? Leave our Jezza alone. He was doing his best. No, she wouldn't. She would have been betraying him as the wrong person for handling a pandemic, and if my brother was Prime Minister, he would have certainly acted like his hero, Winston Churchill, and would have rallied the country, and she would have definitely blamed him for all of the 200 and odd deaths, and certainly would have used the Partygate as a stick to beat him with. It's just typical of these people, isn't it? Do whatever they like, no fucks to give, and take no responsibility for anything, do they? But what do you guys think about this entitled gaslighter Rachel Johnson? Let me know down below and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.